going to be reading a story about a little boy, and he goes to an island and he meets some monsters or wild things. And I want you to pay special attention to their physical characteristics, okay? What they look like as I read it, okay? The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind. When he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Look really close, because I heard some of the words that you guys just used to describe them. Till Max said, "Be still," and tame them with a magic trick of staring into their yellow eyes without blinking once, and they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. "Now stop," Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all the wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then all around, from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said, "No." The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and roared their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. And sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day. And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot, his supper. Okay, so I want you to talk to your neighbor about physical characteristics that you saw. Go. You have 2 minutes.
I saw one like a big nose.
I think I saw someone with big arms.
I saw one with like a long neck. The first one.
The one
They had a big claws and teeth.
Some of them were even combined with other animals.
Okay, go ahead and stop. I'm going to go around and we're going to make a class monster. Xavier, please sit down. Thank you, love. We're going to make a class monster, but we are going to start with one group at a time. Noemi, can you tell me one characteristic of a monster that you would make? So we're making up our own class monster. What color do you want him to be?
Brown.
Brown? So we're going to have a brown monster. Excuse my... Okay? This group, how many eyes is he going to have? Jonathan?
2.
2 eyes. This group, give me a characteristic of your monster. Edgar?
Horns.
Horns. Those aren't very good horns, but that
They look like ears.
they do look like donkey ears.
Yeah.
This group, what do you want? What characteristic do you want?
Wings.
Wings.
Yeah.
We need to give him a body.
That one.
Okay. What about this group? Give me something.
He's got really long legs.
Really long legs.
From me.
Okay, does anybody, oh, this group.
He has crazy hair.
Crazy hair. Let's make it pink.
Yay!
Are you wearing some blue hair?
Miss Broda, if it was just the head, it would look like a horse.
The ears? Okay, so here's our crazy monster. I know I'm not the best artist, but let's look at our monster. If you have 5 monsters, how many wings do you have?
10.
If you have 5 monsters, how many wings do you have? Edgar?
10.
10. How did you get to that?
I multiplied 2 times 5.
And then you got 10. Good job. Let's do, if you have 7 monsters, how many eyes do you have?
14.
How did you get that?
I multiplied 2 by 7.
2 by 7, because he has 2 eyes, right? Good job. If I have 7 monsters, and I want to know how many noses do you have, how would I get that?
You would have to
Does he have a nose?
no.
So it'd be 0.
0. So it'd be 0.
Because 7 times 0 equals 0.
Right. If I have 0 noses and 7 monsters, how many noses do I have? 0. Good job. If I had 5, or no, let's try 4 monsters, and I wanted to know how many mouths I have. How many do I have there, Marissa?
0.
0, because we don't have any mouths. Good job. So we're going to add a physical feature. So somebody said 3 tails, right? So we're going to add 3, looks like a peacock now, but 3 tails, right? So if we have 3 tails and 5 monsters, how many tails do we have? Giovanni?
15.
15. How did you get that?
By times 5 times 3.
By multiplying 5 times 3. Very good.
5 times 3.
What if I had 3 tails and 0 monsters? Brian?
It would be 0.
Why?
Because 0 times 3 would be 0, and there's really nothing there. So.
There's nothing there. Whenever you have 0, there's nothing there. Good job. Excellent.